What's going on, everyone? Tech Me Out here, and in today's video I'm going to be unboxing the highly anticipated Samsung Galaxy S7. So the particular model that I went with was the black model, and I got mine from Best Buy. And let's first talk about the design of the box itself. Now, in taking a look at the box, pretty much every side of the box has something on it. So at the top, for instance, you have your carrier logo. Along the right-hand side, you have the color of the particular model that you have. Along the bottom of the box, you have all the information regarding the device itself. And then along the front of the box, you have the particular model you have, which in my case is the S7 32GB model. And then on the back of the box, you should find all the information regarding what content should be found within the package. So overall, pretty good packaging. I like what they did here. And plus, it's super easy to get in here and actually get your device out. So you just slide this out and we are in. So let me go ahead and figure out how do you open this section. Okay. So for this second box, all you have to do to get in here is basically pull from the right-hand side and open it up much like you would a book. First thing we have here is the S7, which, might I add, initial impression of holding this thing alone, I'm pretty impressed. But let's move this to the side and take a look at what you get inside of the box. So the first thing we have here is a manual and your SIM tray ejector, which is in this little box here. We also have the I was about to say UBS. We also have the USB connector, which will pretty much allow you to transfer information from one Android device to the other. Meaning if you have an Android device right now, you can just pop this into your Android device, use the cable here, and plug it into your new S7 and transfer information from one to the other. And the next item you'll find is the micro USB charging cable. We also have our wall adapter here. And lastly, we have the headphones. So I like the way they went about packaging this, and it's honestly a little bit familiar, but I won't judge. But I do like the way they package these. They look like they'd be comfortable. I know these are just the regular headphones that came with last year's model, but FYI, this is my first Galaxy device. I have owned a Note 2, but I've never owned a Galaxy device and had the opportunity to have extended hands-on use with it, so this will be my first. But moving on to the device, I'm gonna go ahead and power this up as we take a look at the actual build of it. So in looking at the top of the device, we have the dual SIM tray. So you can pop in your micro SD card and your SIM card in one slot here, so you don't have to have two separate areas for that. Or you can pop in two SIM cards and have a line for personal use and business use all in the same phone. I like that idea. And then moving on to the right side, we have the power button, which to me is in a very ideal place. It's not too far up and it's not too far down. And moving on to the bottom, we have our speaker, micro USB charging port, headphone jack, and then along the left-hand side, we have our volume buttons. So overall, and actually just holding the device itself, it feels really nice. I feel like the curved edges along the back were a nice touch because now it makes it feel smaller than it actually is in your hand. Which, might I add, this is a 5.1 Super AMOLED display. So you're gonna get some really vibrant, saturated colors and just an overall great visual experience. Now, as for the battery inside, you have 3000 milliamps, so you should get a lot of power, enough to at least get you through the day. I'm not quite sure about 2 days, but I will be testing that to give you a more accurate idea of what you can expect in terms of usage. Now, something I really like about the S7 is the fact that it has an IP68 rating. So technically, you can submerge this in at least 1.5 meters of water for no more than 30 minutes. But honestly, the nice thing about it being water resistant is that you don't have to worry about maybe getting caught out in the rain with this particular device. Or maybe if your device gets dirty and something happens to it and you need to rinse it through some water, you can safely do that without fearing that you're going to damage your phone. And the impressive thing about this is that this is achievable without having to cover any ports on the device. Now, as for the camera that you're going to find on the back, it is a 12 megapixel shooter and it has a dual pixel design, which pretty much means you're going to get really quick autofocusing. So you can get a nice picture of those hard to capture moments of like kids moving. But aside from that, I am really impressed with how this feels in hand. It has a premium feeling, like it feels durable. It doesn't feel cheap at all. And the curved edges on the back really help this device feel a lot slimmer than it actually is. So I feel like overall usage and handling and comfort is going to be pretty good on this. It doesn't feel slippery or anything like that, so we'll see. But that's pretty much gonna wrap things up for my unboxing and initial impressions of this particular phone. So I'm excited to test it out and see how it performs, especially being that I've never used a Galaxy device before and I've heard nothing but great things about the S6. So to me, the S7 is a bump up from that. So it should be a pretty solid experience. But I do want to give you a heads up that I have the Samsung Gear VR on its way. So that's something that I don't know if I'm gonna do an unboxing for, but I'm definitely gonna do a video on so you can get my perspective of that if you're interested. I'm also gonna be doing a speed test of the S7 versus the iPhone 6s Plus, and maybe even a camera shootout if that's something you're interested in. But those are just some things to expect. So if you are looking forward to seeing those videos, I think it goes without saying, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this particular video or just want to show some support, then please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to be even more awesome, then go ahead and hit that share button as well. But overall, that's it for this particular video. However, if you have specific questions regarding the S7 that you would love answered, please drop them down below in the comment section. That way I can do my best to answer them within my next video for the S7. And by now you should have hit that like button, share button, and subscribe button. And if you haven't, this is your second opportunity to do so. And as always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.